And throughout our show, we've been bringing you information from around the world and right from your own backyard, the borough of the Bronx. We've been glad to bring it to you. Members of the Collaboration Cafe to New York believe that micro solutions actually work. Here now to tell us what this means and talk more about what they do are Rachel McCullough-Sanden, Christopher Macrae, and Spencer Chiimbwe. Is that right?
Yeah, thank you.
I got it good. All right, then. That's good. Thank you all for sharing with us. And share with us a little bit about this here.
Well, Collaboration Cafe started about 5 years ago and it's spread through many cities. Basically, it's a small meeting where the people who come believe one particular issue is very critical to that community. Maybe the world of banking is collapsing, or maybe the world of climate is collapsing, and they may be very sort of politically opposed to each other, but what they come to do is to listen to someone who has a community solution from somewhere else which seems to be working, so they can then discuss whether perhaps that could be used here. The basically two reasons why that's worth doing. Firstly, globalization, I think, can only have one of two ends. It will be a Big Brother, George Orwell scenario where basically everything starts collapsing, and of course it'll be communities that lose first. And this is where conflict resolution comes into this, because if we're going to get to a sustainable world, it's going to be local communities who come up with these solutions, almost the opposite way from big power. Now, the other sort of value of Collaboration Cafe is really that there's sort of creativity in every person, but this creativity isn't so much about artwork, it's finding the skill you have which could most serve the rest of your community, but also make some income out of it so it becomes a sustainable business. And that's the area that Rachel is very expert at.
Yeah, and I saw Rachel shaking her head right there when you were saying that.
Right, so actually Chris and I both focus on microfinance and all the solutions that's really been proven to offer developing communities, especially in the international communities. And so most recently the foundation of which I am a part of directly, ASA Foundation, which connects up with the technical assistance that the microfinance institution ASHA offers in Bangladesh, is working in scaling that industry. And we also offer a lot of other opportunities for people from all different industries to come and offer these community solutions in innovative ways in this collaboration. And so Spencer here works in a slightly different area of development.
Spencer, share a little.
Exactly, thank you very much, Darren. And the Collaboration Cafe is founded on the idea of recognizing that there are issues within the community. We've got conflict resolution, we've got poverty. Now, until people come together to dialogue around those thematic issues, we cannot move forward and add to the solutions that the world is trying to achieve. When you talk about conflict resolution, you realize that there are ideas of people that are having their own monologue. So the Collaboration Cafe tries to facilitate a dialogue where if we discuss these issues, then we can move forward. The first host of the Collaboration Cafe were the New York Center for Conflict Dialogue and the Transparency and Accountability Network, trying to bring people together. Now we've got about 50 to 60 people meeting from time and again to discuss global issues pertaining to poverty and trying to realize that there cannot be peace without development. So we're trying to find the nexus between peace and development to move forward.
When you talk about it, I guess you get the variety of different ideas, and they can be diverse, but yet still we bring them to the table and we have a discussion on it, and out of that comes.
And that's what's so important, and out of it comes our solutions that then people can take back from the table, put into their own organizations, whether it's nonprofit or a community neighborhood structure. And that's why we're so excited about being here today, because a lot of us deal with international topics, but we also very much want to include the New York community, other communities. Mariah Starr is getting one started in Boston in a couple months. We'd love to scale this, and we want people to know that we don't care how old you are, we don't care what your experiences is, we don't care what you look like. We just want you to come and talk about what you know in your community or communities you've been exposed to.
And added to that, actually the best solutions for the things which are in the deepest crisis, like microbanking, come from the other side of the world. So Mohammed Yunus or ASI, they both come from Bangladesh. And I believe Mohammed Yunus was talking at Lehman about a month ago. His sort of new book is a way, a sort of a Bible of how to do micro everything. You can do micro banking, micro health, micro agriculture. Everything that really matters needs to be sustainable in local communities before it replicates worldwide. Otherwise, we're going to have more and more crashes.
Yeah, but I think one thing that goes unnoticed sometimes is that within the local community, because we pay a lot of attention to the national level.
Yes,
We talk about the international things that are going on. We did international roundup here on the show, but then sometimes when you really get to dealing with the issue of the local community and really doing some problem solving, while everybody's trying to solve the problem on a national level, sometimes we don't have too many guns and artillery focusing on the local level. But I guess the main thing that the problem solving begins with dialogue.
Exactly, and you see, for a long time, society has left problem solving to policymakers, decision makers, diplomats. But what the Collaboration Cafe is trying to do is to bridge the gap between what goes on at the policy-making level and what goes on in the community. If we are to ensure community sustainability development, or to move forward in that area, we need to bridge that gap, bridge the divide, to see that what happens at the policy-making level should also happen at the community level. So we're trying to ensure a bottom-up approach instead of a top-to-bottom approach.
How do people become involved with the Collaboration Cafe?
The piece to this I'm also really keen on is saying this could be something perfect at a university, because collaboration cafes could be a method that student union clubs sort of used, and which showed that the dialogue method helps you with whatever is your greatest passion, but it unites you by showing that actually every great local problem has some commonality. So every different discipline starts to come together through this collaboration. If you're going to solve healthcare, you're going to solve local banking, you're going to solve local agriculture, etc., etc. So these things become a perfect sort of networking gateway, because there's enough openness. The collaboration sort of connects you across networks.
Exactly.
That's what we want to emphasize, is that we want the Collaboration Cafe to, so how can you get involved, right? We have an email, collaborationcafeny@gmail.com. Email that, myself, Peter Burgess, who's also a huge player in the Collaboration Cafe network, will have access to that email. If you want to start your own Collaboration Cafe, maybe it's in your neighborhood, maybe it's at your college, maybe you want to work with us and then branch out, maybe you're somewhere else. But basically, we want people to dialogue and have a networking structure with, we're all part of different organizations, but we come together to discuss this. So the email is the greatest point, and then we can go to you, you can come to us.
How do you feel that this has made a difference?
Well, essentially, if I hadn't, for the last 5 years, done this probably twice a month, I wouldn't have started to make a map of some of the most interesting micro solutions that exist around the world. And I wouldn't have met Rachel or Spencer. So we wouldn't have collaborated, and I wouldn't have sort of gone across cities and found actually everywhere there are people wanting to solve human problems. This is sort of a universal thing. We want to sustain next generation.
Spencer, you get the final word.
Exactly. We get the meeting of the minds towards solving global solutions. That's how relevant the Collaboration Cafe is.
Well, we want to say once again, if they want to get more information, let's throw it out there right again one more time.
collaborationcafeny@gmail.com.
Okay. And then you can click on in, and then you can collaborate.
That's right.
All righty. Thank you so much for coming to share it with us.
All right, Darren.
Best wishes.
It's been a pleasure.
Continue to solve some problems, because we're always going to have those. We just need some solutions right about now. So thank you so much for coming and sharing.